This lawyer in this front page article was talking about how the ACLU has moved from an organization that defended the First Amendment no matter what to an organization where people worry a ton. This man's name is David Goldberger. He argued one of the most famous cases, I'm reading from the article, defending the free speech rights of Nazis in the 1970s to march in Skokie, Illinois, which was the home of many Holocaust survivors. This 79-year-old lawyer said that, again, who was Jewish and defended the right of the Nazis to speak, said as follows: I got the sense it was more important for ACLU staff to identify with clients and progressive causes than to stand on principle. Liberals are leaving the First Amendment behind. Some of you out there are going to say, well, why does this matter? Well, I have always argued for a universal and even standard, as if you are a judge applying a precedent that is fair and consistent and without moving parts here, so that everybody is being treated equally regardless of what the background is. What we are seeing start to occur here is there are many people out here who are treating this situation differently based on whether or not they're on the presumed right side. But this is a great example. In the 1970s, it used to be we lionized lawyers who stood up for the principle of the First Amendment, even if they didn't agree with the underlying speech. In fact, this was the entire basis of the People versus Larry Flynt, if you want to go watch a movie that was once on what I would consider to be the First Amendment side. And that's why I say I am not particularly allied with any individual version of the First Amendment. I believe in the First Amendment as the most important right that we have in America. And the ACLU used to be the biggest defender of the First Amendment. Witness, again, the fact that they defended, this Jewish lawyer did, the right of Nazis to march in a town with many Jewish people who were Holocaust survivors. Sometimes speech makes you uncomfortable. And sometimes speech can be offensive. But we cannot allow the standard in America to be whether or not speech makes you uncomfortable. The goal of a robust First Amendment marketplace of ideas should be that everybody should be able to talk. And the irony here is that oftentimes the groups that are the most stifled and most not willing to be supported are minority groups arguing unpopular things, which might one day end up being popular because the marketplace of ideas evolves. And because we're able to debate ideas, we are able to end up with a better result in this country. This is the entire basis of First Amendment jurisprudence in this country. And now people are afraid of what might happen if they have the wrong client. I believe it was John Adams who defended the British soldiers who fired into the ranks in at the if you remember, at the Boston Massacre. Let me make sure that's right. I believe it was John Adams who defended at the Boston Massacre. And there were some amazing quotes from John Adams at the time that he defended in the Boston Massacre. There were lots of things, obviously. He was not happy with the treatment that he received, but we understood the importance of representing British soldiers in the Boston Massacre. And he made the decision that they deserved the right to the best defense they could possibly have, even though in that situation, he was taking a ton of criticism. And so it's a fascinating story. And that is, to me, why I went to law school, because even people who are accused of heinous acts deserve defense to the full extent of the law. And I feel like many young lawyers now are upset with being on, quote, the wrong side and not thinking about the larger principle at play here, which is the First Amendment rights of all, even if sometimes that leads to you having to defend people who have abhorrent beliefs in your own personal perspective, people that you would disagree with.